Okay, so by literally plugging in headphones and listening to like oscillating beats, you can change how your brain works. You can literally change your mood. You can even change your hormones. Yeah, you're probably about to click off this video because you're thinking that Thomas has finally lost his mind with some crazy woo-woo witch doctor stuff. No, I'm literally talking about neurons and the electrical pulses that they send to each other and how we can actually manipulate brain waves a little bit through something known as binaural beats. Okay, so maybe you've seen binaural beats before, maybe you've heard of them. So I'm going to break down how this actually works and how you can use them to your advantage to help get you in the right mood for maybe a workout, or get you in the right mood to go to sleep, or to just help condition your brain to be a little bit better at switching between different wavelengths so you can tackle tasks better and overcome rough situations a little bit better. So in essence, binaural beats are where you're listening to specific tones that are at slightly different frequencies in each ear. So you have to listen to them with headphones. But the way that they work is, for example, let's say I had 200 hertz coming into my left ear and 205 hertz coming into my right via headphones. What's going to happen is the brain is going to have a hard time determining what tone is actually coming through, because it can't really differentiate the fact that you have 200 hertz coming in the left ear and 205 coming in the right. So once it enters the brain, it starts computing a little bit, and the brain takes the net difference between the two, in this case 5 hertz, and creates its own brain waves based upon that. So yeah, literally, you just created your own brain wave. Now, this all sounds crazy until I explain what brain waves are. Okay, so again, our brain is comprised of billions of neurons, and these neurons are electrical. So we are naive to think that we don't have electricity in our brains. Of course we do. Okay? Everything is an electrical impulse in our brain. That's how our neurons are actually communicating with each other. So our brain creates these electrical pulses. These pulses create a signal, and this signal is our brainwave. So brainwaves are a very normal thing, and they're used in science a lot. For example, if you go and you get like an fMRI scan or any kind of scan that's measuring your brain activity, that's what they're measuring. They're measuring the electrical signals, they're measuring the waves, and they're measuring what portion of your brain is getting more electricity at that time. You've all seen those videos before. You've seen it where the brain is all lit up on a screen with different portions depending on what kind of visual cue they're giving them. Still, electrical impulse, okay? But we can actually manipulate this a little bit if we know how it works. Before you think I'm totally crazy, let me give you a little bit of evidence. This is looking at the actual hormonal side of things, showing that by changing our brain waves, it changes our body chemistry. And this is very profound. So Dr. Giampapa did some research a couple of decades ago on this. This stuff's been around for a while. And he wanted to find the correlation between alpha, theta, and delta waves created with binaural beats and their effect on cortisol, DHEA, and melatonin. Hold on to your hats, because honestly, this is some crazy, crazy stuff. All right, so what he found, when you were exposed to the proper waves, your DHEA levels, which are basically your marker for physiological aging, increased by 43% on average. That's huge. 43% increase in DHEA. Precursors to testosterone, precursors to all these hormones that allow us to be either male or female and allow us to basically fight aging. That's a huge increase. That's not anything small or anything that's negligible. Okay, the next one was cortisol. He found that you could reduce your cortisol levels by 46%. That's on average. Okay, some as high as 70 to 80%. Reductions in cortisol just by listening to binaural beats that change the hertz up a little bit. That's very profound stuff. And lastly, melatonin. Okay, melatonin is a neurotransmitter that helps you go to sleep. It helps you fall asleep. It triggers all kinds of these cascading things in your body that allow you to just peacefully go out. Okay? Well, what he found, again, is when you put yourself into the right brainwave state by using binaural beats, get ready for this, 97% increase in melatonin. 97%. So you can definitely help yourself fall asleep by using the right binaural beats. You might listen to some binaural beats that put you into a theta state. But if you listen in that same continuum to a binaural beat that's also going to put you into an alpha state right after that, so basically go from one brainwave state to another, you allow your brain to develop the neuroplasticity, the ability to switch between them easier when you're not listening to them. So what I mean by that is you make your brain very flexible. You make it so that your brain has the ability to almost consciously switch from alpha to beta to theta to delta whenever you need to. This makes you a remarkable person. This makes you able to truly change your personality if you wanted to at the snap of a finger. because you can collect yourself and you have the neuroplasticity for your brain to actually fire the neurons the right way into a different brainwave state. You develop the pathway to now become a more calm person when stressful situations arise where you would normally just end up in high beta or possibly even gamma because you're so stressed out. So binaural beats are no joke. I use them before I work out. I use them before I meditate. A lot of times I use them before I film so I can make sure I retain information and put myself in the right state. The wrong brainwave state, for example, being in theta when you're trying to be super attentive, could be detrimental. So you want to use them with caution, but I encourage you to experiment with them. Try them out. See how it works. See how it works with your food addictions, with your cravings, with everything. Trust me, if we can start hacking our brains a little bit, we can hack the rest of our bodies.